I bring you news of great sorrow. You will have a sad tomorrow. Happiness you cannot borrow. In pain you will weep and wail. Disaster has struck you this hour, taking away all your power. You have fallen from your tower. Plans to defend peace did fail, so smell this fresh, fragrant flower.
Its fragrance he did inhale, then his countenance turned pale. The flower stem he was twirling, a sudden swift breeze is swirling, sending my memories whirling around and out of my mind. That strong brisk breeze keeps on blowing. Away from me are now going most things that I have been knowing. Memories are gone with that wind. Away from me facts are flowing. Vital facts I cannot find. My past has left me behind. Is my love a dying ember? Is my brain a severed member? Tell me, I do not remember. Mirabel proudly then did say, mixing her words with her laughter,
I am the king and queen's dear daughter, leading you now to your slaughter. You are an orphan on your way to the hereafter. My commands you must obey. Obey me without delay. You who are so kind and loving, Dax, I say now go a-roving. Do not stand still, but get moving. Your mind is still in a haze, without memories or knowing. Do you see that hedge maze growing? To the other side, get going, where the unicorn will graze. To me now, you should be bowing. Although you are in a daze, go wander in that hedge maze.
To escape, dazed Dax was yearning. Despite much twisting and turning, a pathway he was discerning to leave the hedge maze behind. Bewildered by an illusion, like the labyrinth of his mind, Dax did wander in confusion, suffering from a delusion. Dax did reach the right conclusion. He had wandered like one blind, but the exit he did find. Dax escaped! It was amazing. He saw the unicorn grazing. At the princess, Dax stood gazing. Was she his friend or his foe? Doom's deep dread voice he was hearing. A catastrophe was nearing. Mirabel stood in the clearing. She held an arrow and a bow. She aimed at him. He was fearing. His terror and fear did grow. He was filled with dread and woe. The princess had stood there waiting and anticipating. Dax found it very frustrating. Such mistreatment was a shame. There could be no disguising that Dax found it surprising. He was surely realizing that she had just changed her aim. Dax thought and began surmising. The unicorn was her aim. He would surely get the blame. Mirabel deserved a scolding. Her corrupt plan was unfolding. With the weapon she was holding, a bow and arrow of view, she stood there waiting and willing. The situation was chilling. One would quiver. It was thrilling. What could Dax possibly do? Would she start a war with killing? What would the princess dare do? From her bow the arrow flew. Dax was chilled to his bones' marrow. His own escape had been narrow. He watched the flight of her arrow. It flew steady on its way. Dax looked so sad and so forlorn. Mirabel did express her scorn. The princess shot the unicorn. It charged at her right away, aiming its deadly, sharp horn. Dax did jump into harm's way, twice saving her life that day. The unicorn laid down dying. Dax breathed his last, sadly sighing. The princess began crying. From her bright eyes tears were shed. Seeds of conflict she was sowing. Away from peace all were going. War's rebellious seed was growing. The last unicorn had bled. A stream of blood was now flowing. Dax had been impaled instead. Instead of her, he was dead. The unicorn did not survive. Of life, the princess did deprive. A look half dead and half alive in its dull eyes did remain. The unicorn was defenseless from the cold and cruel ice princess. Her rash action was so senseless, it would cause much stress and strain. From war's threat they were defenseless. It would be a source of pain. Drops of blood would fall like rain. Wandering had left Dax tired. Losing love he had desired. His loveless life had expired. He had died from her deep scorn. Although he would not be hailed, to save her life Dax had not failed. In his ribcage his heart was jailed. From his chest his heart was torn. His true heart had been impaled on the broken horn of the extinct unicorn. Magic powers were revealed. His puncture wound was healed. The hole in his heart was sealed, concealing an empty space. The princess stole his heart, and she contained it somewhere quite handy that would work both fine and dandy. She had found a hiding place in the heart-shaped box of candy, decorated with white lace. It beat at a rapid pace. The unicorn she was taming died from her arrow's keen aiming. Poor Dax had died from her shaming. In his hand she placed the bow, to mislead in her false blaming. Her values had sunk so low, she had not continued crying. Tears she shed as Dax lay dying. In the warm wind they were drying. No more tears for Dax would flow. Where in the world does love go? Although reserved, modest, and shy, to his still lips she did apply a sweet, life-giving kiss good-bye. She then did briskly walk away, before a witness could arrive. She did not see the kiss revive, changing him from dead to alive. Somehow life had found a way. We should struggle and we should strive, despite what some people say, to live to see the next day. Dax gasped for air, and then did say, "My heart has been stolen away, or it has simply gone astray, and found somewhere it does hide. Where is it now? I do not know. With each heartbeat my love does grow, for the princess colder than snow. I want her to be my bride. Do not say goodbye, say hello. A sharp-edged void is inside. I am wounded by her pride."